Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Lily.
Today we're going to level up in STEM. This week's theme is animals, and we're going to talk about an animal that is extinct. Miss Lily, do you know what the word extinct means?
Does extinct mean that an animal species is no longer living?
That's exactly right. The animal that we're going to talk about today, no living person or any person has seen this animal ever. And the animal we're going to talk about today is a dinosaur. There are two types of dinosaurs. There's an herbivore and there's a carnivore. An herbivore eats plants, and a carnivore
Only eats meat.
only eats meat. That's exactly right. And the way that you can tell is that an herbivore's teeth are round, almost like fists. So put your fists up and then put them like this, like two teeth. We're going to chomp. And an herbivore's teeth grind leaves together to help them get into their stomach. A carnivore's teeth
Are really pointy.
are extremely pointy and they help cut meat, right? There's also a third type when it comes to animals and the food they eat. That third type is called an omnivore. An omnivore eats both. We are omnivores, most of us. So if you look at your teeth, you have pointy teeth in the front, and you have round teeth in the back, and that's because we eat both. So today, we're going to study dinosaurs, and we're going to be someone that is called a paleontologist. Miss Lily, can you tell us what a paleontologist is?
A paleontologist is a scientist who digs to look for animals or other things that were once living, such as plants, fish, and other things.
That's exactly right. An archaeologist looks for things that have to do with people. So buried treasure, sunken ships, castles, cities. But a paleontologist digs for fossils. So today we're going to learn how to be a paleontologist. So next we're going to talk about fossils. And fossils is how we know about dinosaurs. Miss Lily, can you tell us what a fossil is?
Yes, a fossil can be anything such as an animal, a plant, an insect, or even poop that is left behind in areas such as the oceans, beaches, or areas with lots of mud. Over millions of years, they can be covered and go over a series of changes.
That's right. So all of this earth will cover something, compress it really tightly, and when that happens, this material turns into a mineral. A mineral is a lot like a rock. And then over time, all of the things that was pressing it down is washed away, and something is exposed. And that's where paleontologists come in. So today, you are going to be a paleontologist. And for this activity, we have just a couple of materials. In your box, you should find a baggie with 2 cookies, a toothpick, and then a paper towel or a tablecloth. All right, so we're going to practice being paleontologists. And the way we're going to do this is use a toothpick. Now, paleontologists use a couple of different tools. They have chisels and shovels and brushes. They use brushes because these fossils are very, very delicate. So what they do is they take these fossils, dig them out from the earth, make a cast. So if you've ever broken a bone, they make a cast. It's the same thing. Like if you had broken your arm, they make a cast of the fossil, and then they take copies of that fossil and send it off to museums. So the dinosaur bones that you see in a museum are not the actual bones. Those bones are probably in the basement somewhere, being kept preserved so they don't crumble over time. But because of this process that the paleontologists take, we get to enjoy the dinosaurs for many, many, many years. So today, we're going to be paleontologists. So what I want you to do is take your toothpick and very carefully take your cookie and just look for a second. Don't go yet. Don't eat it. But I want you to look at your cookie, and we're going to pretend that all of these chocolate chips are fossils. So your job as a paleontologist is to very, very carefully take your toothpick and carve around the chocolate chips. So what I want you to do is carve around a chocolate chip And when you have excavated it, which is a fancy word for digging it up, when you've dug it up, I want you to set it to the side, and I want to see how many chocolate chips you can excavate from your cookie.
First, I'm going to look for the chocolate chips that are the most easiest to get. So whenever I see one, such as this, I'm going to take my toothpick and try to push around it to see if I can get the chocolate chip up without breaking it. Sometimes it may be easier to break some of the cookie around it. So here, as you can see, I have one chocolate chip. Next, I'm going to go for the chocolate chips that are more inside the cookie. If you notice, I'm taking my toothpick and going around the chocolate chip, so that way I don't break it when I take it out. And if you do this right, it should just pop out easily just like that. When you think you found all the chocolate chips at the top, flip your cookie over. Often there can be many chocolate chips hiding underneath.
All right, so when you're done, you should have a nice little pile of chocolate chips and a nice little pile of cookie crumbs. And now it's the fun part. You get to eat it all. So thank you for joining us today as we learned about paleontology.
We'll see you next time when we level up in STEM.